Good evening, happy Monday. Welcome to the Stephen Knight Show. Hope you're having a good one. We're going to try our best to make it even better. Tonight, we welcome activist and advocate for the nonprofit organization called Race for Peace Committee. His name is Aleem Howell. He joins us later on the show. Plus, on our topics, we're discussing the latest in the deliberation in the Diddy trial, update on the Chris Brown case, and an update on the latest inmate who escaped from the jail in New Orleans. And then Beyonce has a close call at her recent concert in Houston. All that much more. This is our last show for our summer break. We're back in September. But we'll remind you over Facebook, Blue Sky, and of course X. Then there's our YouTube channel, The Stephen Knight Show. Please subscribe. We definitely appreciate you and your interaction. Now we got our girl Lania back in the house, making her not her debut, but coming back for the last show of the summer. How's everything going with you, Lania?
Everything is everything. I'm tired.
Yeah,
School is whipping me, but
you got Dean's
it was a
list.
pleasant surprise to be on the dean's list. I
Yes.
wasn't even trying.
Uh-huh.
So
That's awesome.
I'm good. I don't know. I think Chike mentioned I did my book signing since I've
Oh
been
yeah, he
gone.
said it was successful.
I did the book signing. I did two Juneteenth events. I vended my book at two events already.
Wow.
Um, and I had the opportunity to present my book to Tony Terry, if you know who he is.
Hmm?
Um,
That's
so,
awesome.
things have been, trucking along. And I actually had the opportunity. Um, I need to shout out Corey Love, and she actually featured me in her magazine. It's called Film Mag,
Okay.
and I got my own page.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So I've
Big
been
thing.
busy. I've
Yes,
been busy.
absolutely. And then Adam is joining us for movie reviews. So Chike's out. He had a dental procedure last minute, so he's out. But he said it'd be good. He just couldn't be able to talk tonight. And of course, Brittany, we're all here. All right, well, this is the last day of Black Music Appreciation Month. And it's also the last day, well, I don't know how long Pride is, but it's Pride Month. So everyone celebrate everything. All right, so our question of the day is it okay for your significant other to go all day without texting or calling you? I'll start with you, Adam, since you're our married husband here.
I mean, sometimes I don't hear from my wife for weeks and we live in the same house. So, but I think it's fine. So we don't, yeah, we never really like, and it might be because we got married and then we're in the pandemic and we're always
Mhm.
around each other. So when we're like off doing things and she goes in the office now, it's not a big deal. She'll text me like when she's on her way home if like we're cooking dinner and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's fine. I have had a friend that like he tells his wife every time he's leaving the office, and this was before the pandemic, to go home, and I thought that was weird. But again, everyone's relationship is their own.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't give it much thought.
Yeah. What about you, Brittany? Is it okay to go all day without
I
texting?
don't know. I don't know why y'all ask me these questions. No, not if he mine. He will no longer be mine. Or we're gonna have a problem when we get home. I'm sorry. Adam's married. I am not. Don't listen to my advice because you better call him. You better call me. You better text me. You better be like, hey, just thinking about you. You better figure something out. I don't care if it's a smoke signal. And if you don't, I'm gonna be like, you don't like me no more. Like, oh, we beefing. Something wrong. I
What's
don't
wrong?
know.
All right.
Yeah, something wrong.
What about you, Lania?
Um, I'm going to say it's fine. I'm going to speak for myself. Depending on what Jay is doing
Yeah.
work wise, because sometimes he can be real busy and I won't hear from him until it's not busy. And for me, if I'm on set, I can't be on the phone.
Right.
So, what I mean, it really all depends. Like we have like, going all day because we
Hmm.
both have been busy and it's not intentional
Right.
when it happens. But then when we're not busy, but when we're not busy to the point to where, we can be on the phone, we're talking to each other all day.
Yeah.
When we're not busy like that. So I think I have a good mix of it, with our relationship.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm cool if he
I think
doesn't.
to Lania's point, like she's saying, like, what's all day? Like if they, like she said, they have busy segments of their day, so then it might be like later that evening. Like to Lania's point, what is all day?
Yeah. You know what the consensus was on Facebook was if we live together, it's okay if I don't talk to you throughout the day because we can get at the end of the day we can pillow talk and how was your day, da da da. But like if you're in a relationship and y'all don't live together, then you would expect to hear at some point, check in. Like you said, Brittany smoke signal something. You know what I mean? It takes 30 seconds to text
Yeah,
if you
because
can.
like if Lania or like Adam, they're the ones in the if they were like out of town,
Yeah.
like do y'all expect to hear from y'all person some point on that trip?
Oh, when I'm out of town, oh no,
Yeah,
I'm
like if
checking in. Like I'm
like
checking.
so.
I check in because he's not comfortable when he's not with me,
Mhm.
and and that's a protector thing for him.
Right.
But when
So
I
you
have
wouldn't go
to
the
go,
whole day without talking.
like I'm going to check in. It'll be as soon as I can.
Hmm.
And I can check in. I'm checking it. Like especially if I'm flying, I got to check in on the way to the airport, when I get to the airport, when I check in at the airport.
So see, it ain't no, oh, I was busy with
Like,
luggage or nothing. Like you gotta make the time. Like so, I think
Yeah.
the circumstances do matter. Like I
Yeah,
think
Absolutely.
definitely. Out of
circumstances do.
town, we do like
Oh, yeah.
text like at night.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, let us know on Blue Sky or X. Is it okay for your significant other to go all day without texting or calling you? On X is Stephen Knight Show, SHO, and on Blue Sky is The Stephen Knight Show. All right. Well, deliberation in Diddy's trial has officially begun. Today, jurors related to the court returned to the court to receive legal instructions from federal judge before starting the deliberation process. The jury, which consists of 8 men and 4 women, will go through 7 weeks of testimony and that have occurred in relation to the counts against Diddy. As previously reported, Diddy has pled not guilty to federal charges of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Last week, the prosecution and defense delivered their closing arguments. Now, one of the jurors in the Diddy sex trafficking trial has reportedly struggling to follow the court instructions, according to other members of the jury. Just hours into deliberations, the jury foreperson sent a note to the judge expressing concerns about jury number 25's inability to follow instructions. After consulting with both the prosecution and defense, the judge agreed to send a response back to the jury, reminding all juries their duty is to deliberate on a verdict. Now, the judge instructed the attorneys on both sides to discuss how to proceed with the juror, and juror number 25 is a 51-year-old Manhattan resident, disclosed having seen a video of Combs allegedly assaulting Cassie in Los Angeles hotel prior to being selected for the jury, as reported by People. According to TMZ, it's unclear whether the juror being unable to follow instructions benefits the defense or prosecution, but suggests that he could be leaning towards the not guilty verdict on one or more charges. So, this came after I said the hot topics. What are your thoughts? Because I've seen some attorneys, and they don't think that it's going to be as bad for Diddy as we think it's going to be. Lanier, what are your thoughts?
so I mean, I haven't followed the case. I've only looked at snippets,
Right.
legal summaries and commentaries.
Mm-hmm.
And just based off of what I've gotten so far, they do not have enough to get any type of indictment for RICO charges.
Mm-hmm.
Just the RICO charges.
Yeah.
Now anything else, you might have something, but if now you're having an issue with the juror, that can be, that can go either way.
Mm-hmm.
What can happen? You can have a hung jury.
Yeah.
You can have a hung jury, and then they got to decide if they want to go through this all over again. Or you can have a mistrial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But and I don't know, it's too late to bring in an alternate at this
Right.
particular.
Yeah.
It's too late for the alternate. So
Mhm.
um I definitely don't. I have not gotten anything relating to Rico,
Mhm.
relating to this, just strictly anything else, but nothing. Like, I don't see them finding him guilty in regards to any of the Rico charges.
Yeah. And they had to drop some of the charges because they couldn't really prove them, but they said it really won't impact too much on the case. Do you think if he's able, there's a mistrial, or they're able to, throw this out, can he make a comeback?
In what sense? Like
Like,
as a
could he get back?
producer?
Okay.
Or, I mean, I don't think he'll ever get like a TV show again, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, for the most part, rich people in America usually come out unscathed. And then if you're a celebrity, also that helps. So, I mean, I don't know. Mel Gibson's getting work, so
That's true.
could be. Decade later, 2 decades later, maybe.
And Brittany Audrey O'Day, she said that if he gets off, that she's leaving the country because he's gonna come after everybody. What are your thoughts? You're on mute.
I think that's funny. I laugh. I didn't hear that part. I did see she did an interview with her.
Yeah.
I think that's funny. She's running from Diddy and not from Trump. Like, that's funny. So I think that, you know, I said after watching everything play out, I don't know if he'll be found guilty of much. And if he does, he might get time served. Or I do see something happening to where Trump stepping in at the end of his term and intervening in the time that he might get. I don't see them throwing the book at Diddy with all the charges that they came out with,
Mhm.
especially with hearing like a lot of the testimony and how the girls kept going back and forth, reaching out to him, like the seesaw of it. Um, I don't think he'll make a comeback in his career. I think he should just lay low. But then again, I don't know. He was on a roll with Carisha, so they might get back going again. Like they had a real good with the whole podcast and then the whole game and stuff. He was on a roll with building her up. So he might play a more behind the scenes effect on people. Because I do know that he does have some kind of magic that he can place on the people and make their career pop off. So I could see him playing a more back role instead of being in the spotlight, maybe with his own kids,
Yeah.
per se. But I don't know. I don't see him getting. I don't see him getting the R. Kelly treatment, like the way R. Kelly been in jail all this time. I don't see that happening, did he? I
Yeah.
don't.
We'll see what happens.
Mm.
Well, Nelly apparently is not with the BS, and he's making it very loud and clear. While recently appearing on Hot 97, the rapper opened up about his decision to perform at presidential inauguration events earlier this year. He stressed that he wasn't endorsing anybody, but simply showing respect for the office. Still, it didn't stop folks from coming for him. And how? He has had enough. After a clip of the interview made his way around the net, Nelly responded to the backlash in the comment section on the Shade Room, and they said he had time. He said, I put whatever up me and Snoop do more in the community and have been doing for over 20 years against any of you that are just here talking trash and have no stats to back it up. What that means to community. From the black families that we employ to the black children that we help every day and all year through our nonprofits, whether we're sending kids to schools on scholarships to HBCU or helping young black boys in a gang central with the junior football programs, which many players have went to go on to NFL and live their dreams. And on top of that, we are black men married to beautiful black women with black children. Should be inspiring to most of you, some of you, y'all have a problem with because the prosecutor, who has probably locked up more black men than we've helped, a woman of color with the white husband and white kids, did not win the election. So pretty much he was saying, calling Kamala Harris out, saying that she didn't, she married outside of her race and he's done more. Mind you, it has been debunked many times that she did not lock up these droves of black men, which he seemed to have been retaliating. But I don't know if you saw, or repeating, but I don't know if you saw, there's a clip from their new reality show, him and Ashanti. And in the clip, Ashanti's telling her mom that he got a call about doing the inauguration. And you can see it. Ashanti looked like she didn't want him to do it. His mom, her face was shocked, and she was saying, "How do you feel about it?" She said, "Well, it's up to him." And she said it's different being a girlfriend as opposed to wife. I just have to support him. And she was like, "Well, as your mom and your manager, I have to make sure you understand because you are his wife, you can get some of the backlash if there is some." And then she was saying how Ashanti's mom's dad was part of the civil rights movement and that he, marched in Selma, etc. And so she was just talking through it. And then Nelly comes in the room and he says that he's going to do it. He's on the phone. I'm going to do it, and walks off. You kind of see that both of them, because Ashanti said she never really talks about politics, but she said it's up to him. Um, but it was very telling in that clip that both of them looked like they didn't want him to do it. Obviously, he has done it. He's getting this backlash, and now he's lashing out. But what does Kamala Harris's husband and her stepkids have to do with his decision to perform? Because what people were saying, you won't be remembered for performing at the presidential inauguration. You'll be remembered for performing for Trump. Brittany, what do you have to say to this?
Well, first of all, I binge watched all 8 episodes.
You
I am
didn't
a
see it?
Nelly fan. Okay, I did see it. I had to
Yeah,
start all over. Okay, I am a Nelly fan. Okay, y'all, I love Nelly. Nelly Country Grammar came out when I was in the ninth grade running summer track,
yeah.
and that was my boyfriend. Nelly and the St. Louis Ticks, Nelly was my man all through high school. I love him. So I'm a huge fan. I love Ashanti. I love Murder Inc. I'm a fan of them. So when they got together, I thought they were the cutest thing ever. So I could not wait to watch this TV show. And I think that it was a beautiful, the way Peacock did it, it was no drama like that. It was very much about them. It was a healthy relationship. I loved how classy Ashanti did not bash him in this moment. Like
Right.
stayed very mum. On her confessional, they asked her to tell her opinion on it. She would not bash her husband or speak against him or speak opposite to what he decided to do. Once he said he was in it, she did make her little facial expression, but she handled it very classy for that to be her husband. He said he did not anticipate the backlash Ashanti and her child were going to get because he chose to do it, because then people started saying how they raising a MAGA baby, and
Mhm.
they got real hateful on the internet towards Ashanti and her baby.
Yeah.
And that Nelly said took him for surprise. I think with all that being said, it can stir up his need to feel like he has to protect her, I think, and then leads into this comment. I think he went above and beyond to stand on, even when he was explaining it to Ashanti, it was like he was trying to convince himself or drive a point home to make himself believe it. And I even feel like I kind of felt like that in his tweet. It was more so like, who you trying to prove why you doing this for too? Because it sounds like you're trying to convince yourself the reason why you're doing it. I think that Nelly felt triggered by being called a sellout, because I think a lot of people had told him how he was selling out for
Hmm.
a check, doing this for Trump. He said that on the show too. And he drug somebody else down about being in an interracial relationship, trying to prove his blackness. But down the country grammar song was about a drive-by. I didn't even know that. Charlamagne told me that. I don't think Nelly's from the hood. He from St. Louis. And you don't have to prove your blackness. And you don't have to tear down Kamala to prove how black you are in the community. And I just think that, and I can understand being defensive about your wife and your child, but if that was something you chose to do, I feel like you should have been prepared for this, to where this comment shouldn't have even got off
Yeah.
out of your emotion, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Because the headline was he's trashing Kamala and her white husband and her
Yeah,
white
like
kids.
you drug
That's
everything else
yeah,
down to prove why you doing this and how black you are. And it was just like, that was like, just be like, just stand, and I did it because I wanted to.
yeah, yeah. Linnea, what are your thoughts?
I'm not interested in watching the show. Um, but I will say this. Sometimes it's okay to shut up.
Right. Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
And I'll also say this: when you're in a relationship, especially a marriage,
Mm-hmm.
you're supposed to have a conversation. And you can't be that oblivious to think that you would be able to do this and not, and no backlash would happen. And that said backlash would then roll over to your wife and your child.
Yeah.
You can't be that oblivious. And what makes it even worse, since you didn't want to shut up, you spout the same loud and wrong rhetoric that the right side has been touting.
Yep.
Loud and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yep.
That has been proven false over and over and over again. And need I remind people, Chrisette Michele, my example, Chrisette Michele. I love Chrisette Michele.
Yeah, me too.
All she wanted to do, and she didn't get paid. All she wanted to do was try to, feel like she was bringing stuff together, not knowing the animal she was dealing with.
Right.
And people put that woman on the chopping block, and they blackballed her so bad.
Mm-hmm.
It took her a long time to get to where she is now.
Yeah.
On steady footing and finding her way again. It took her a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's the difference in a Nelly and a Snoop Dogg and a Chrisette Michele?
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference? Oh, I'm sorry, that's a Black woman. The least protected, the least respected, the least honored, all of that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But again, this is where we are. Yeah, you have beautiful Black wives, you have beautiful Black children. But as Brittany said, you decided to bring down another Black woman and bring in her husband.
Right.
Even though she's dated Black men, it don't even matter. That's her husband. How many other women outside of Black women have you decided to put your pee in?
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to go there?
Right.
He was just with a girl that wasn't Black.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it was just classless.
It
Like
was.
I said, sometimes it's okay to just shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yeah.
And now your wife is feeling the brunt of it. And like Brittany said, you really just did it for the check. You ain't do it for the White House. Let's stop all that. You ain't never thought about nobody's White House before.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that you've done, unfortunately, this moment is going to be a defining moment in your career and your philanthropy work that you're doing, whatever you're doing.
Yeah. I saw in an interview, he said that he performed for Kamala Harris before, and that didn't hit the headlines, but this did with him performing for Trump. But Adam, what are your thoughts on this? Because here's the thing, and Brittany, I know you've watched the show, I've only seen clips. There are a lot of things about him that make him a little unlikable. Just what I've seen, the fact that he won't let Ashanti move back to New York to be with family. A lot of people think because
say that. He didn't say he won't let her. He was transparent in the beginning. Now, I will say some men are not all the way evolved to be ready for marriage. I will say that. He said he was transparent from the very beginning with Ashanti about where he was not living and where he wanted to be based out of. And she did choose to go forward in the relationship, knowing he did not want to live in the city she wanted to live in.
Well,
so I think both people got to be accountable.
Also, he won't wake up in the middle of the night to change diapers. I don't change diapers.
He had a baby at 50. He already had his kids, and
he has another one.
And now he has another one to please a woman. I do think that everybody got to be accountable. If I get with a man and I know that he's 50 years old and don't want to be a daddy all over again, and he's a grandfather, but my maternal is not satisfied, that's me choosing to move forward. I just feel like we know what we're signing up for. So why do we expect people to change once these things come. Like,
Yeah.
as a woman, I do think we got to do better taking accountability, knowing that a man is going to be that man essentially, and we choose to move forward in a relationship for that man. Where do we stand in our accountability? That's all I think.
Okay. Well, that's all. That's all. Of
I
course.
feel like,
Go ahead, Adam. Go
I
ahead,
mean,
Adam.
I don't know. If I say anything, Brittany might come after me.
No,
Uh,
I'm sorry.
Because
I'm
first of
sorry.
all, to that last point, even if he's not changing diapers, why is he telling people this?
He
Like,
told her on
shut
camera.
up. Like Linnea said, you just need to shut up. But I think he's a guy with an ego and he wants to do whatever he wants to do. And he's going to perform for Donald Trump because he doesn't care and he doesn't care about anyone but himself. I'm not going to watch the show, obviously. He's tarnished his brand. I mean, he's going to be forever remembered for this. Like, I like Country Grammar. I still think Hot in Here is probably the song of the summer forever. I don't think any song's ever come close to
Yeah.
that as a song of a summer. But he's given up his brand. He played at the Nats Stadium. He did a free concert after one of the baseball games, and I was excited when I heard about it last year. But then he performed at the inauguration. I'm like, I'm not going to go to this. I'm not going to support this guy who obviously cares for a racist old white man that wants to destroy democracy as we speak. So again, yeah, and Linnea had a great point. Like this, a marriage is a relationship, and the fact that he didn't consult her shows that he is like taking advantage of this relationship. So,
And
yeah,
and for him to be surprised by the backlash, Ashanti's mom said, "You're going to get this because you're his wife." She knew that before he even said yes. So
It's
yeah,
so funny. To Adam's point, Ashanti didn't want to do a show. Nelly
what the
pushed
reality show?
Ashanti into doing a reality show for the coin.
Yeah.
Because he was like, "Oh, they love us. They gotta
Mhm.
see our relationship. Everybody
That
happy.
was
We spun the plot."
before he did what he did
Right.
because everybody
But
was for it. Everybody
every
was for it.
They were
But to
happy to see
Adam's
them back.
point, your ego is so involved in this.
Yeah.
Like now you got everybody in your relationship nitpicking how you don't change the diapers, how you perform for Trump, how you don't want to move to New York. Well, you could have just spun the block, got married, had a baby, and did all of this, and we would have never known who you
Never
really
know.
was.
Yeah.
Because there's certain things you don't have to say. It's certain things we didn't need to know that he didn't want to change no diapers. We
Mhm.
didn't need to
No,
know that.
he should have never did the reality show. I will
And,
say that
and,
he should.
and we have seen reality shows ruin the persona of celebrities time after time and again. We saw have with
Yeah.
Kelly Price, R&B and Divas. We've seen a lot of them. Even
Whitney and Bobby.
Whitney and
Whitney and
Bobby.
Bobby should have never did that show.
Yes. So people gotta be careful when they sign up for these reality shows, especially
Stop
like
putting your
him.
business on Front Street, y'all. Stop doing it on social. I don't want to see y'all fighting on social media.
Right.
See y'all on reality TV fighting. Like stop. To Adam's point, your ego be all in it.
Yeah.
Because once you film,
because you're
go
right.
ahead,
Like,
Adam. Go ahead.
sorry, like he's been around for over 25 years. This is not like some new TikTok celebrity that doesn't know
Right.
how to handle
Right.
the public. He knows what he wants to do, and he's going to do it.
Yeah.
And he's going to do it. And you know, when you are dealing in the that's why I don't like reality TV. Because guess what? You can say what you want, all you want, but once they get that footage and they get it on the editing floor,
Yeah.
they are going to turn it into something else. And all they need is things that they feel can be clickbait.
Right. Right. What can go
That
viral?
point, if y'all watch the show, Ashanti has so much media training. Like she handled it with such class.
Yep.
When Nelly did the whole performing our inauguration, they said, "How do you feel?" She said, "Next question." She didn't argue with him on TV. When he
Yep.
said something about the diapers, she FaceTimed her baby and moved right on with the subject. She did not engage. She handled it with such class. She didn't give the cameras nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Nelly gave his whole ass. And
That's
Ashanti's a
because he
private
wants the attention.
person.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
asked Ashanti on the Breakfast Club, like, why are you doing a reality show? Charlamagne hated that they were doing it. And Ashanti was like, "I'm doing it for my husband.
Mhm.
Like, I would not be doing this if he didn't think it was a good idea for us." And so she said it, and it has turned out to be a bad idea for Nelly.
Well, you listen, same thing with Whitney Houston when they did me and Bobby Brown. She did it because Bobby asked her, but when she decided she wouldn't do season two, they wouldn't greenlight it.
Oh.
So I wondered, I'll be curious to see if they do a season two for this one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Chris Brown's accuser
Anyway,
has reportedly filed to dismiss the lawsuit stemming from an alleged nightclub altercation. But Chris' criminal charges connected to the incident may still be pending, according to TMZ. In 2023, Abe Dewall filed a lawsuit against the singer, accusing him of striking him with a tequila bottle at a nightclub in London. However, on Friday, Dewall reportedly submitted documents to LA County judge requesting the case be dismissed. The filing indicates that Dewall is seeking a dismissal with prejudice, which prevents the case from being refiled. Such dismissals often result in a settlement, though it remains unclear whether any financial agreement was involved. If the judge approves the dismissal, Brown will still face his ongoing criminal case related to the same incident. Earlier this year, he was arrested upon arriving in the UK for his world tour and charged with assault and possession of a weapon by local prosecutors. It sounds like there is a settlement here. What do you think, Adam?
Yeah, it's got to be. Like, why else
Yeah.
would that happen? And, speaking of another person with ego, we've learned Chris Brown, he can assault people every few years and he still has sellout concerts. So
I'll be
what can
there.
you do?
I damn sure would be too.
I'll be right there on that chair on stage, Adam.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, and I'm not going to get into
Come
Chris
on,
Brown
Linnea, we can go
slander.
together. We can
Yeah,
just
like
up there together.
I don't do Chris Brown slander. I don't do it. I'm not going to do it because one thing's for certain and two things for sure. In the world that these people live in, especially when it's for Black men, they will come for them and they will ruin their lives with no hesitation. Now, when we go back to what has happened when this man, who's a man now, was a young man, something that happened years ago is still haunting him, and he's been working his way back.
Yeah.
Now, this fight that happened, from my understanding, it wasn't even him that hit the person. It was somebody in his camp. But there are people who are going to keep him in a box, and there are people who won't. Right. It is what it is. It's not my job to convince nobody of nothing else.
Yeah,
not my job.
He's just had a lot of, like, if on his Wikipedia page, 2012, 2013, 2016, 2017. I mean, the history, and that's fine because I do think he's going to be fine. And I do think he's going to come out of this unscathed and everything like that. But he does have a history of these violent incidents.
Yeah, I got violent incidences. Shit, I'm not gonna lie, but
yeah, but I mean, you don't hear 2 Chainz getting in trouble for violent incidents, or you don't hear Kendrick.
But I also think it depends on the person too. Like it depends on the person and whatever they want. Like, we don't know. I will say this. We don't know what demons people have been fighting all their lives. We don't know. But I know that there's a constant barrage to just not recognize people not being able to separate. Matter of fact, the perfect example is the person you got in office. He's a convicted felon. He can do whatever he wants to do, and it's okay. I'm not making no concessions for nobody. I just know if I was a concert person, I would be at a Chris Brown concert. I still support him. I'm still praying for him. He's still working through whatever he's working through. And that's the same thing for Michael Jackson when people was trying to accuse him of, listen, all of them got tarnishes. Period. Ain't nobody perfect. It is what it is. But I will not go for no Chris Brown thing.
I don't know. Kendrick pretty close to perfect.
Adam, you was afraid of me. You was afraid of me with Nelly, but it's Chris Brown and Linnea you got to be worried about.
I knew when I saw Hot Topics and I saw Chris Brown, I said, Linnea is not going to like this.
You missed it.
But the thing is, and I will repeat this, he is going to be fine. he's going to get through this unscathed. He's going to still sell out concerts. So
And he'll have
in
an
the end, it
assault
doesn't
in
matter.
2026. He'll have an assault in 2027, and he'll have an assault in 2028. And
Listen,
I'll still be there jamming all his music. But in my opinion, I just want to get my opinion off. I think that accountability, that'd be my thing this year. Just like I said, the accountability with women, knowing what they
yep,
getting in a man and stop trying to change a man. Let
yep.
me tell y'all, Trey Songz is gonna beat your ass. The baby gonna beat your ass. Chris Brown is gonna beat your ass. Like it is a few people in the industry that y'all know when y'all try this, they gonna beat your ass, celebrity or not. You can take them out the hood, but don't mean that you take the hood out of them. Like they are about that life. So stop trying them. Don't throw nothing at their concerts. Don't walk up to them demanding nothing. Stop
Oh yeah, I
trying these
saw someone threw
people.
something at one of Chris Brown's recent concerts. Threw someone a
It
joke
was somebody
prank on him.
they like you know what, that's beginning to be a thing with
It
people
is.
throwing stuff at the
Yeah.
artists at
Like
these
just
now. It's not like his draws. It's not like his brawls
No,
like
they
it
threw a
was
drink
back
at
in the
him.
day.
Mhm.
They're because somebody threw something that it wasn't SZA, it was somebody else.
What's her name? Ariana Lennox.
Her and somebody else. Like I just don't get it. And why people are doing I
Right.
don't
Well, who spends
understand.
money? Who spends money to go throw something? Like,
Right.
And then you're gonna get kicked out. You're gonna get kicked out.
yeah,
And some people throw their
Like
cell phones. Don't you need your phone?
you're like,
I ain't
don't you need
my
lying.
your
burner
phone?
phone.
Because then somebody throw something at one of Beyonce shows.
I
Hmm.
think so. And
I
I don't
think
know.
somebody threw something
someone
that like, what's the purpose? I don't
someone ran on
understand.
stage with Katy Perry recently. She was on stage. They ran on stage, and they got up to her. They're like, "Where's security?"
Damn.
Security
Doing
need to
that
be
to her, bro.
fired.
Yeah.
Fired.
Yeah, okay, another one. T.I. Don't try T.I. He
Don't
gonna
try
he gonna
him.
whoop your ass.
Yeah.
Don't talk about Tiny in front of T.I. He
Oh,
hopped off the stage to beat
Oh,
your
yes.
he go
ass.
off.
Yeah.
He go
He
off. He go
like so
off.
there are these celebrities, Adam, that you
I
just
just,
know like to leave them alone. Like
I just
Monica
love.
saw another girl getting her ass
Monica.
beat by her man, and she
Monica.
almost
Oh,
came off the
yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
Like
Monica will put hands on you.
Yeah.
some people will
That's
take that
Unica.
check. Some
Right.
people will take that check just to whoop your ass. So I like if they got the money to pay it off, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It makes them happy. Trey Songz got in a fight in Virginia at a mall.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I just feel like
I love that we're gonna move to our next topic, and then Brittany's gonna be like, and another person. We're just gonna
Right.
keep remembering all these people.
Ooh, we ain't even look. Trey Songz is a whole nother story.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
like,
Well, okay.
go to the next story.
The ninth inmate on the run for over a month has been captured in New Orleans. According to multiple outlets, Antoine Macy, excuse me, was captured this past week in the Holly Grove neighborhood. Reports stated that in 2019 he escaped the Morehouse Parish Detention Center and was found the same day in Texas. According to WDSU 6, Massey also escaped from two jails once in 2007 and broke out of two ankle monitors. This marks the longest period Massey has gone without being captured following the escape. Derek Groves is the last inmate that remains on the run. So this man, he's good at escaping jail, apparently. This is his third escape. He escaped two ankle monitors. Uh, Brittany, is this one that we'll see if you try?
Yeah, Holly Grove. Well, not that, but then I saw people saying that like, why was he still in the ninth ward? Like, why was he in Holly Grove? Like, but then they said it's expensive to flee. Like, okay, so maybe that's why. Because I'm like, would have got the fuck out of Dodge. You hear me? Like, I would have been gone. I don't care if I had to walk, like swim. I would have been gone. But then somebody even said he had a whole birthday party. That's how he
Well,
got caught.
well, you know
He
he went
had a
on
birthday
live. He went
party
live. He went live on social media when he
at
was
his
out.
party. I know he did the whole reading from the prompt, but he had a birthday party. And like, I'm like, boy, but that's what I mean. You take them out the hood, but can't take the hood out of them. Like, how you out of jail having a birthday party on the run? Like, then, baby, Instagram, I love being on there. They did the whole transition of the other guy to a woman. because they said he might have grown his hair out. So
Oh
I see
gosh.
like stages of him transitioning to a woman. Oh, and he looked good.
Internet never fails.
He
Never.
looked good, like a black Caitlyn Jenner kind of thing. I gotta find
Yeah.
that for y'all. That is, I be sending you DMs, Steven. That'd
You
be
do.
funny. Like, so I saw how the guy supposed to look as a woman. Y'all keep a lookout. He might have a wig on, bust down 40-inch. Like, but I think that man gone. Like, I feel like we too close to like Mexico. Well, maybe that's Houston. So that's yeah, you too close down there to be trying to like not go there. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have done trying to escape, but I don't think I'd have still been in New Orleans.
Right. Yeah. And what do you think about this? Because some people they are scared to leave where they're used to being around from
Yeah,
their
it's
area.
interesting because so got out in 2019, maybe the pandemic hit, and he thought, well, there's other worries for the police that he was just can just he would
Right.
never get caught again, and he could just be relaxed and stay in the neighborhood. I don't know. Either that or he just really likes escaping jail, and
He's
he's
good at it.
probably like
He likes
bored of
escaping.
yeah, yeah,
He
you
goes
know,
there to
like
escape.
I wonder if he was the mastermind behind this whole breakout thing. Because he's good at it.
yeah, I don't know.
What do
Adam
you
says he does it for fun, like that movie. Name of that movie with the guy, the Sylvester Stallone. What's the name of that movie? Me go in prison and escape, get out for fun.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't
Rocky?
know the
No.
name of that movie.
Uh,
Oh dang, okay. I'm old.
but yeah, it's like an escape room for him just in real life.
right, a real hero. Lanier, what are your thoughts?
Um, no, he's not good at it
Right.
because once you
Gets
escape
caught.
the first time, why did you get caught again?
Right.
That
Yes.
doesn't mean he's good at it. And
Yeah.
this is what I mean by you really not making money. Because if you really out there making money, then you got to prepare yourself just in case you get locked up.
Right.
And you got to make sure you got your money stashed somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So if you was really making money, you should have stacked your money. Because if you already had it in your mind to dip off and escape, like you in Alcatraz or something, then you would have got out, went to where your stash was, and crossed over into Mexico and turned into Jose.
Oh, you real smart. You've escaped before? Lania didn't escape before.
Yeah, the plan. Yeah.
Yeah, Lania got the hard thing that she gonna get us out of prison. We commit a crime.
I can't confirm nor deny.
Right.
I plead the fifth. But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah. Makes sense.
something to think about. I'm not gonna do all this hard work to get out of here just so I can end back up in the
Right.
same place. Because what they're gonna do is once they catch you, they gonna figure out a way. They gonna put him in solitary for a
Yeah.
long time.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna be in solitary for a long time. He's probably not even gonna go in gym pop for a long time.
Yeah. Because they know he's gonna get out.
Yeah, like it's gonna be a minute. Like, so 3 times, and you took people with you,
Right.
and you had a party and posted it on social media. Basically, this is what you're doing. You're like, yeah,
Uh-huh. Right.
yeah,
Right.
y'all stupid. This generation is stupid with these cameras and y'all filming everything.
Yeah.
Y'all don't have to do that. It's
That's
okay to not film it. It's
Yep.
all right.
How many of y'all think his own family gave him up? I think it was somebody at the birthday party they get. His own people gave him up.
Was it a bounty?
Right,
Not
there's a bounty.
but was it
Or
I
reward?
damn sure would have took that 50,000. I'd have 10,000, 20,000. He over here. Y'all come get him.
He
I just
took the
want
last piece of cake. and
right.
That was it. That's all it took.
Y'all pay with Zelle.
Yeah.
And then you got to be careful because you don't call, if there's a reward, you don't call 911, you call a tip line.
Yes.
Because if you call
Don't get it.
911, you
Yep.
won't get the money. You got
Yep.
to call the reward tip
Yep.
line.
Linnea, how do you know all this? If he ever deport black people, I'm finding you in the detention center and you gonna get me out.
Yeah, Prison Break.
Like, yes, we getting out of there. I'm finding Linnea. Y'all
Keep
better
keep it
buddy
in
up.
mind. You know, keep it in mind. Keep it in mind for
Keep in
later.
mind.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm gonna skip to our last story for timing, but while Beyonce hit the stage for her first sold out night and the two at Houston's NRG Stadium during her Cowboy Carter tour on Saturday, things went awry as her flying prop car malfunctioned mid-air during the show. However, like always, the singer handled the situation like a pro. The Beehive was left gasping for air when she began to perform in her song 16 Carriages, and they were gasping again when she took a seat in the prop car that was suspended high inside the stadium and later became stuck. Fans were horrified. Beyonce had to stop singing and called out, "Stop, stop, stop." After safely making it back down, she later told the crowd, "I want to thank you all for loving me. If ever I fell, I know you would have caught me." She continued to perform the song. Now I heard the next night she didn't use the car anymore. The next night in Houston. But I saw the footage and um, it was kind of scary. I mean, I can only imagine being that high in the air. Even though she's strapped in, but still, what if the car it would have flipped or
It
whatever?
was slanted. It was
Yeah, it was
slanted.
slanted. She did take to social media the next day and took a picture. I mean, post pictures from the show and even her in the car. And she said she made a caption something about like, let's ride,
Sitting
uh,
sideways, boys in
sideways.
the
Yeah.
days.
Uh-huh.
That is a rap song from Houston. Paul Wild,
Oh,
all of them.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like H-Town. You gotta be from Houston to understand it.
yeah. Well, I'm glad you said it because you are Beehive in H Town. So when you
I
saw
am
this
a Houstonian.
Estonian, when you saw this footage, what you think to yourself, Brittany?
Um, thought she handled it classy. They already came out with the videos talking about what they would have done if they was in the thing. Like people been putting themselves in the car, talking about because they said she kind of like signaled to the camera people, and then she did the stop, stop, stop. But I'm sure plenty of people up there would have sacrificed themselves
Yeah.
for Beyonce because they are a cult like that. But and then she came out and made a joke.
Hmm.
And I knew she was gonna put that song on because it was like just for her to be in Houston,
Yeah.
that's our culture. We do
Right.
slabs, we do elbows, we do candy paint, we do the whole, sitting sideways, swerving, swinging and banging, all of that. So I knew she was gonna put that song on and have that picture of, like I just knew it. So I
832,
mean,
right?
yeah, 281-713.
Uh-huh.
Did Mike Jones 281-330-8004 hit Mike Jones up on the low? Yeah. So, like I am Houston through and through. I'm mad because I had to stay off Instagram because I didn't get to go. Everybody, my whole timeline is up there, and I feel, left out a little bit. But she'll be in Atlanta in like 2 weeks, I
Yeah,
think.
I think so. July.
Yeah, we gotta
I,
go.
yeah, she got to take the
Oh,
car
Adam,
out
Adam,
though.
aren't you coming for
I
that?
am going. I'll be there.
Yeah, he's going there.
Oh, what you wearing, Adam? Where your cowboy hat at?
What do the boys wear? That's the question, right?
You gotta be a cowboy. You
We're
gotta
a
have your
cowboy.
cowboy hat. You gotta have your buckle. I need you to have a vest on. Come on, Adam. I need you to
I do
come
have a big
through.
buckle. Steven, you got a cowboy hat I can borrow?
I have a cowboy hat. My
I
head's big
have
though.
a request. I have
And
a
That's
some
okay. I'll make
boots.
it
request.
work.
And some
Adam,
boots.
Adam, I have a request. I think you would look real sexy in some ass chaps.
You mean assless chaps or ass chaps?
The assless one.
Yeah, with your cheeks hanging out.
With your
Yeah,
cheeks
I got
out.
like 4 pair of them, so I could
Right,
bring
right.
them down.
You got your favorite pick
That's
on.
why he married. That's why he married. He be role playing as a cowboy.
I don't know if your wife would like that one, Adam.
No, she might not appreciate that.
Um, watching the video, she did handle it very well. She didn't freak out. How good are y'all under pressure, Adam? How good are you under pressure in a situation like that?
I mean, well, I'm not a multi-million-dollar celebrity, but I would panic a bit. But I mean, she's a professional, and I mean, yeah, these productions are so elaborate that you can't have anything go wrong. You can't. risk injuring, like, how many people lose their jobs if Beyonce got injured and she
Oh
had to
yeah,
cancel the tour or,
yeah,
put things off. So any safety measure you take and anything that can go wrong, yeah, I would have panicked immediately. Um, so she handled it well. But again, she's a professional.
right. And Lydia, I
Adam
saw.
panicking. I don't see Adam panicking. Like he don't seem like he would lose his cool. Like
That's true. My panic would be like hard to understand for people,
even
and I'd have to
kill.
like really let them know.
Right.
Yeah.
Lydia, I saw one performance. Her pants came down while she was performing, but she was even Grace is pulling that back up. How good are you under pressure?
I don't know. I am I'm good till I'm not. And what I mean by that is in the midst of it, I turn into whatever I need to turn into.
Right.
But once it has, the once everything is clear, I go somewhere and a breakdown is going to happen in some form of fashion. Uh, that's generally how it works for me. I'm cool on the outside until I'm not, and then
Right.
once it's quiet and we're good, I'm going somewhere to break down.
Gonna
Don't
crash out.
bother me, and I'll talk to you when I'm done. And that's it. Because during this tour, a few things have happened
Yeah.
during her tour
Mhm.
with some malfunctions, whether it's with the props or her wardrobe.
Yeah.
But even though I'm not a concert person, if I had to pick which one I wanted to go to, I would have loved to have been at the one in Paris that Jay-Z was at.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that would
Baby,
look fun.
She brought it up.
baby.
Uh-huh.
Like I would have loved to have been there. But
Yeah.
I think that, depending on what it is when it comes to pressure, you know what I mean, and how because you don't know how you're going to react to something until you're in that moment.
Right.
Like and who does an amazing show, and she added, this whole acrobatic thing is Pink.
Pink. Yeah.
Like, and
She
I,
does.
and I
Pink
know
fell out
Chris
the sky
Brown
one
does.
time.
Yeah, like Chris Brown does some stuff with the ropes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate their artistry and their commitment because Pink literally like took classes
Yeah.
to really perfect that whole acrobatic
Yeah.
type of situation. And it's beautiful when she does.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love Pink. But baby, the way that my life is set up, yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen for me.
Right.
Even though I do want to try this trampanzy thing that's out here in Philadelphia, where you can go and act like you want to get on a trampanzy, whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if it's
Chimpanzee?
like the flying thing, like in a circus.
Like the circus people, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they got that out. They got it in Philly where people can go. They can pay to go and swing. I mean, there's a net down there. I don't know if it's a weight requirement, but you know.
I could never.
Well,
Steven,
look,
do you panic?
I don't typically panic. I don't usually panic. I usually am good under pressure. I was just thinking about it. It was nothing clearly like this, but I remember one time I had a performance and I was rushing to traffic to get there. Me and Miss Parker, he's been on the show. We were driving there, and I had just gotten there, and I could hear them introducing me, and I'm back. I'm in the front, and I'm at the stage. I had to run back to the back of the stage. Right, I get out there. I can't hear myself because the music's so loud. But I got through the first performance, and so the second song was slower, and it was and so I went and got the mic stand, and the mic dropped. The mic stand dropped, and I picked it up and I made a joke just out of nervousness, and everyone started
Huh?
laughing. And then I performed, and Miss Parker said, "You need to start incorporating because you're funny." And I didn't do it like I just did it out of nervousness because the mic stand dropped. But yeah, but typically I'm good under pressure. I think I am. But I probably would reflect on it afterwards, be like, "What in the world?" You know what I mean? So yeah. Well, listen, thank y'all so much for Hot Topics. Hope y'all have a wonderful summer. Adam, we'll see you when we come to Atlanta. When we come back, our interview with activist advocate from the nonprofit organization Race for Peace Committee, Aleem Howell, right back after this. You have a great summer. Right back.